AIDS 302 Summer Session B 2020. How you doing? I'm Michael Fayer. I'll be your host for this session, this course. I am currently up in southeastern Wisconsin. I'm competing, I guess, with some kind of bird back there. I'll have to listen and see how that sound is affecting us. Beautiful day up here. I got out of Phoenix last week where it was 111. You know the drill if you're familiar with that. And came up here where I'm from in the Milwaukee area. I'm outside of Milwaukee County right now. The COVID numbers are way down here, so it was a good place to come. And we've got some family health issues that I'm dealing with. But in any event, this is where the whole class for me might take place from here. Currently staying with some friends right on a little lake here, gorgeous place, real nice. So my mental attitude is better. This is going to be a longer video, the number one video, because I have a lot to cover and I kind of got to give you a little context, a little feel for what's going on in the course. I don't know what that is back there making all that noise. Okay, so uh, Arizona State University. All right. So who now you're going to listen to this video, and I'm going to give you three Easter eggs. One kind of in the early part, one in the middle, one towards the end. All you got to do is email those to me, and I'll know you've watched this and you've suffered through it, and you'll get your 5 points. And I do this twice a week, so that's an easy 60 points throughout the course. Who am I? First of all, Michael Fair. I have had a number of careers, by the way. Just so you know, on these videos, the wind might blow my iPad down. Someone might call me on my phone. I do it live, and I don't really edit. So you're going to get a start to finish. All right. Um, I don't know about this bird, though. I thought it would stop. You guys hear that? Hopefully not too much. Hopefully it's coming through here. Okay, anyways, I've had a lot of different careers, a lot of different reincarnations. I call it a protean life, not protean, the ability to change, to adapt. Who knew? When I was growing up as a kid, you had one job. You kept it all your life, 47 years, retire when you're 65, go fishing. Okay, now we jump around, we do different things, we try different things, we reinvent ourselves, right? Interdisciplinary studies fits in with that from an academic standpoint. We're going to get into that quite a bit because I think many of us in IDS want to be able to articulate what our field is. You've got to be kidding me. The air conditioning thing just went on. All right, I'm going to wing this, hoping I don't have to redo the whole thing. So what we'll do, all right, okay, who I am. All right, so uh, I didn't go to college until I was 52. Okay, which was 10 years ago this fall. I went to college at 52. Went to Mesa Community College for a little bit of art history and some ethnic studies. Okay, cultural studies. I'd been an artist doing some artwork for that. Wanted to expand my horizons a little bit. I decided to go to ASU then when I saw the interdisciplinary studies program, and I adapted to it really well. In fact, it wasn't even a fair fight at my age without the amount of experience I had. I just had to learn how to articulate my position, and to do research and to expand my academic knowledge. Okay, and then I was accepted. I graduated in 2013. I was about 50, what was I, 55 or so? 20, yeah, I got to do the math. Okay, 2013. And I was the graduate of the year for the College of Letters and Sciences, which previously housed this program. I was also the academic of the year, basically in academic excellence for African American studies. And I went on to be accepted to Howard University in Washington, D.C. for grad school. Uh, Circumventing it, I ended up there, but I didn't stay in Silver Spring, Maryland that long. In fact, I was only there 2 weeks. I made my way back to Arizona, and I decided to do my master's here. Frankly, I'm a single dad. I'm still a single dad, but I raised my sons myself, 24/7, 365 for about 15 years. So my one son was at ASU Cronkite. My other son was in eighth grade when I pulled him out to move to the East Coast. I decided to come back to keep us three together. And so I did my master's of interdisciplinary studies at ASU on West Campus. and at the new college, it's called, of ASU. And I proceeded to get a job as an adjunct faculty. You know, who knew? I didn't know what I was going to do, but I had a mentor, Dr. Michael Prisdia. Some of you may know him, who I had him for a couple of my classes. He's kind of mentored me through my undergrad and my graduate school, and he recommended, urged me to apply to teach. I became an adjunct for a year, and then they hired me full time, and now I'm here about 3 years full time. Okay, 4 years altogether. So it's been a great journey late in life. That's why I believe anything can happen. It's never too late, but the longer you wait to do it, the less time you have to enjoy it. I like to relate to all my students somehow. Okay, I think I can relate to them. Frankly, some of you might be mature students like me. Some of you may be single parents like me. I was in law enforcement. I was a sergeant in Milwaukee County, an officer in Maricopa County. So I know chain of command. I know how to write reports. I know how to be legal. I understand strategies, from life-saving strategies to de-escalation techniques, and like I said, chain of command. I've been a paid artist. I've I flew to Ghana in West Africa with Stevie Wonder. I was a freelance photographer for their 50th independence from colonialism back in 2007. I've worked for U2 and Bono's One.org in Phoenix in their, which tour was it? I forget what it's called. I've worked for Amnesty International as a photographer. I've sold my art at particular venues in Phoenix area, as well as other places. I've traveled to many locations across Europe, Caribbean, uh, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, US, Mexico, and done a lot of photography work there. I've been a writer, I've been a reporter for newspapers, and my work has appeared in other venues. I have, the artistic side, law enforcement side, or the chain of command side, the artistic side, managerial and sales. I've been a technology salesman. I've been that since 1997. I've brought in $5 million a year. Been on the President's Club, of sales, of our sales organization things. I know technology. I still have a client on the side that I kind of work on commission with, and so I understand the commission, the sales, the business. I've been in management. I've managed all kinds of different companies in different companies. So I like to think that I can connect with each and every one of my students and empathize with what your obstacles are, your challenges are, and in effect, what your goals and objectives are. So that's me. Uh, you know, there you go. Okay. Um, you really need this. Okay. It can give you ebook form. I think it's $50.40. If you can't get a used copy, then that's the cheapest. I linked it on the syllabus. Okay, you're going to need this to pass the course. Some of you that had me for 301 know that we use that for 301 as well. Okay. By the way, when we start off, I call it an introductory module. I don't call it module one because the way the steps we're going to use, there's 5 of them. We have 6 modules. So if I just call this intro, then when we start doing the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it matches the module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a little side note there. Obviously, this class is compressed from 6 weeks from 15 weeks. That's huge. Expect that work to resonate with a 15-week course, not with a 6-week course. Okay. So if you look at any, data, it shows that about a 3-credit university level course, you should be putting in about 130 hours a session into it, into your semester, 15-week semester. So that's about, let's say 120 hours. That's about 8 hours a week. Well, you're more than doubling that. So you should be working on this course between 18 and 20 hours a week. All right. Now I know it's real life, and I know people don't do that kind of thing. But if it gets intense in that, just realize that's what it's set up to be, like a part-time job. I find that my summer students are very incentivized. They seem to be highly committed because it typically is something out of the norm, whether it's financial aid or that or whatever. I just think that they seem to be a little bit more committed. I just came off of a course with half the amount of students. We got about 53 here, Had about 20, actually about 22. They did really extremely well. I was really happy. Um, what are we doing in this course? Well, this is interdisciplinary inquiry. We're going to apply your interdisciplinary skills, and we're going to do that with a research project. Now, when I say that you're going to write probably a 20 to 28 page paper this session, this is when a lot of people say, crap, I'm going to drop this course. I had somebody say that in my feedback in my summer course, summer session A, but he said, I'm glad I didn't because it really wasn't that bad. They just thought it was. But no, you're going to work on it right off the gun, right off the bat here from steps 1 through 5, and it's going to go pretty simple. And when you see how it lays out, I think you'll be pleased with it. I want it to be something you can put in your portfolio and keep with you and use it either as an example of the work you can do, as being knowledgeable in the formatting and how to do a research project in an interdisciplinary aspect. This is the key. It's integrative. It's interdisciplinary. So it's going to be a little different than some type of research that you may have seen in the past. But the end result for this course is I want you to be a better knowledge consumer. Okay, we know this world of fake news, and it's so polarized, and there's so much going on, and between Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else, we kind of get in our own echo chambers. I realize that, and that's fine. I do that, but to be a good consumer of knowledge means to understand how to judge the veracity of something, how to um, determine if this is worth forwarding. If it's a quote by Abraham Lincoln's cat, then we probably should know that that's not true. If it's something that somebody said was online in 1972, we shouldn't believe it because there was no online. I'm being extreme here, of course, but there's ways to tell, to weigh the knowledge, okay? And it's not just a binary good bad kind of thing. It is usually a range, okay? Just like anything in life, there's gray areas, there's a range. So we'll get into all that in the future. Um, I'm going to give you Easter egg number 1 right now. Easter egg number 1 is IDS equals integration. IDS equals integration. IDS being interdisciplinary studies, right? So I want you to remember that, jot that one down. Okay, remember we got a short module 1 or short intro module because of the holiday weekend, but still, we've got things that are going to be due. Of course, it goes till the 5th, and then we'll really dig in, okay? Um, so I don't want to throw too much at you. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed either, okay? I want you to take it one step at a time. If you're somebody who likes to get out ahead of things, great, but just be careful, okay? I'm very flexible in many ways, you'll find, and in some ways I'm not, you'll find. So we'll get into all that, and I'm sure everything will go fine, all right? Um, okay, so I'll get into more about defining interdisciplinary studies next video, but I do want you to remember that IDS equals integration. Integration, to me, the word integration, integrative thinking, integration, that's important, so important in this field, though, okay? Because that's what it's about. There's a difference between interdisciplinary studies and having a double major, having a major minor. What is interdisciplinary studies? Integrate. That's the difference. It's not multiple. It's not multidiscipline, okay? And we'll get into a lot more of that. And I'm sure you got into that in 301 as well. But it's good to remind you because the stronger the foundational material you have and the concepts, the easier it is. I mean, the better it is for you to have your elevator pitch, right? How to sell yourself to whoever you need to, if you need to at all, but how to understand it. Okay, go through the syllabus. I do mention in there things could change with notice, minor changes, but we're pretty much good. I mean, I went through the modules yesterday and today. I redated everything. I removed things around. I renamed it. Thank you for those who told me that things were off. I appreciate your enthusiasm to start the course 2 or 3 days early, but I do have till tomorrow to kick it off. So I needed every bit of that because of our personal situation, my mother, and because of class just ending, and I had to get grades in by Sunday. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. I always want you to know to communicate with me, though. Send me emails. Don't text me cold. Send me an email. If you have a question, send me an email. If you want to Zoom, if you want to just talk on the phone, I'm fine with that. Okay, I've got plenty. I think I'm only golfing on Wednesdays. So, all right. Wear a mask, by the way. Okay, wherever you are. All right. So, what you need to do for this part of the module, I mean, the intro module, make sure you check off the academic integrity agreement. That tells me that you know that I know that I know that you know, don't cheat. Academic integrity, you need to do that. Just keep moving. Syllabus quiz should be pretty simple, 10 points. If you're looking at the syllabus, you see the questions, you should be getting through that. Um, Check out your IDS 401 information. Many people start thinking about it now. Check it out. It's usually always updated with new due dates and opportunities. And in this world of COVID, the new normal, it might be different challenges or different opportunities. Okay. Um, you're going to get into some readings of a review of the pyramid. If you haven't seen a disciplinary pyramid, I'm going to talk about this on my next video. But the interdisciplinary pyramid or the disciplinary pyramid, take a look at that. Take a look at the approaches diagram. Those are two diagrams. Read the one-page article by Meath, which is a classic IDS one. And if you did this in 301, do it again. I'm telling you, you hammered us in. I got IDS, I mean a BIS, same thing, undergrad, MAIS, masters. I still keep learning every time I teach these courses. Okay, it still kind of gets cemented into me what this is all about. So look at those items. Read from Brian McCormack. He's in our department. He teaches out of Australia, and he's been a cornerstone of this department and this program, as well as a contributor to IDS knowledge throughout the years. In our we have an organization, all right, and the AIS, the Association of Interdisciplinary Studies. We'll get into that later. You'll see it. Okay, so Easter egg number 2 is IDS is the field. IDS is the field. It's an academic field. Okay, it's important to remember that. All right, it's not discipline insofar as a discipline is defined as having strict borders and theory and concepts, but IDS is a field. Okay, it's a field of study. It's an academic field. I need you to understand that IDS is a field. Okay, all right. So you're getting the readings first to start with. Tanner, the introduction is about 6 pages. Okay, chapter 1 is about 11 pages. Chapter 2 is about 8 pages. So that is only 25 pages approximately. And then I want you to look at page 34, well, 33 and 34. Those are different steps that different interdisciplinary scholars use. Okay, we're going to be using Tanner's 5 steps, which are on page 34. That's what we're going to use. I want you to begin to introduce yourself to that. I also have a page in Canvas on that. Okay, I want you to take a look at Purdue OWL. I'll be directing a lot of people there to find out how to format an APA style. If you want to use a different formatting style, you just need to let me know and we'll work it out. Okay, other than that, the default is APA style. I'll get more into that as the bigger papers come up. Okay. There is an introduction, then discussion, where I want you to post a musical video. I want you to write about yourself. You can read it. It's simple. The checklist is there. And then the pick one is a assignment paper. I'll get more into that. Let's see. Today's Tuesday here. I'll probably post this a day early. I know people are getting started with the course. Don't worry. And I would say I'll probably post one Thursday or Friday. The module ends on Monday. I know there's a holiday in here. I mean, module ends on Sunday. I know there's a holiday in here. Now, I have a late penalty protocol. Okay, you'll see what that is in the syllabus and the syllabus quiz. But I want you to be sure that you let me know if you're running into problems for time for any reason. I want you to let me know. Okay. All right. For these videos, I will accept the Easter eggs. I know there's a due date. Just get those to me as soon as you can when you view it. I think it's important that you view these. Okay. So this is just more of an introductory thing. Email me any questions, comments, concerns you have. I'm keeping it on about 20 minutes. That's good. So let's go with Easter egg number 3 right now. And that is called Integration is the Process. So this is where I said, remember, IDS equals integration. But then I got IDS is the field, integration is the process. Okay. So while they are equal, they really aren't in many ways. I want you to remember that integration, IDS equals integration, because it helps you describe it and define it. But I want you to understand that IDS itself is an academic field. Okay. And integration is the process we use to perform interdisciplinary research and work. Okay. So they're the same but different. All right. I know it's perplexing, but I think you got my drift, right? All right, so let's call that now and welcome you to IDS 302. I'm going to re-listen to this. If the sound is too loud, I'm going to have to redo it. You'll never know that, of course, right? So forks up. All right, be safe out there. Stay healthy. Talk to you soon.